Good evening everyone, welcome to tonight's council meeting. Please be seated. Notice of meeting. Public notice of the meeting is given in accordance with Schedule 12, paragraph 10.2 of the Local Government Act 1972. Moving on to the agenda. 1. Apologies for absence. To receive and resolve upon apologies for inability to attend.
Chair, we have apologies from Councillor Barnett and Councillor Wilde. I did also speak to Councillor Goodbury earlier, who wasn't very well at that point, but wasn't at that point sure whether or not he'd be able to attend.
Can we receive those apologies? Councillor Abbott, Councillor Cochran, all those in favour? Against? Abstentions? Thank you. Declaration of interest. Is there any interest which members have in the following agenda items? Do councillors have any declarations? No? Thank you very much. 3. Public participation. Standing orders will be suspended for 15 minutes without questions or statements submitted by members of the public. Limited to 3 minutes per person. Is there any member of the public who wishes to speak? Thank you.
Right, you all know me, I've come up over the years, Ian Dixon. People were posting on Facebook last week about, I've gone on about this before. We've paid in Whitby, North Yorkshire, twice the council tax of parts of London. And what do we get in return? Very little. I wonder sometimes what this council fights for, with this so-called levelling up to carry on with that quite recently. £1.5 million town hall. Allegedly, I would say allegedly, Laurie Quinn once told me that. I've heard figures of 300,000, 400,000 have already gone on my catchphrase, skimmers and scammers. Consultants, design engineers, all that. Nothing, not a piece of cement done. Town centre, right? 2.1 million I think it was. I've gone to all the presentations, we had 6 I think people in the Coliseum. Nothing's got done. All that money spent, nothing out of that. The Maritime Hub, which some people say they want, most people I speak to don't want, £10 million. The so-called levelling up fund, not a penny, as far as I can see, has benefited Whitby. Not one bit of cement has been done on that town hall. The sort of plinth that none of us want, that's been pushed, but nothing has happened. You go around the town, and the state of the town is abysmal. My mother was on about today, they bought a house up Elmerdale Gardens. There's a path which goes up between the cemetery and back of Larkpool Crescent. It's another week, it's going to be impassable for weeks. Same as when I went down pit steps last week. The paths down there, they're nearly impassable. You've got the piers dropping to bits. Nothing's been done about that. You've got cemetery. I went up to family graves last week. It's in an absolute disgraceful state, the cemetery. It's just overgrown, it's a disgrace. I mean, the footpaths, I've banged on about this before. The footpaths on the harbour side, they still haven't done anything about the hole in the pavement, which is basically filled with a sandbag. The state of the pavement, I'm surprised nobody's sued the council, because people must be falling over these pavements. I mean, it was brought up in a council meeting a few years ago about the road up to Wendy Street. And then when I was a child, that was just tarmac. Then they put these cobbles down. Well, some of them cobbles now, my father's 89 in a couple of weeks. He can't go up to see my cousin out in a jet shop because he can't walk up there. It's impassable. I mean, I just despair of what this town's... Yeah, there you see, there's virtually nobody else going to speak. I despair and look at the public support for this council tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak? We have received a written statement from Joyce Stango, which the town clerk will read out, and she can't attend tonight.
Can Whitby Town Council prepare an annual report to be presented to the annual town meeting to give Whitby residents an update on the work carried out by the council and to demonstrate value for money on the precepts collected? Can a date be set given at the annual town meeting, so residents are aware of this date and better able to plan and attend the meeting to ensure better communication across the town? And can a set time be given for the public to discuss any issues with town councillors to improve communication with residents and businesses, possibly via monthly meetings of councillors, 30 minutes before the Whitby Town Council monthly meeting?
Thank you. I think we will be able to respond and say on the second point we've already set the date for the annual general meeting. What I would suggest, councillors, in agreement, if the councillors wish to take up the points that have been raised in that and prepare and submit a motion for a future meeting, and those points, if you want to agree with them, can be actions at the future meeting. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, is it possible to make a comment on what
we don't comment on public participation.
I just wanted to have petrol to the flames, that's all.
But I think we are aware of the issue. Not to say that we're dismissive of the points that we've raised. They have been raised at previous council meetings and continue to be concerned, but the normal protocol is that we don't respond at the time.
Mr. Mayor, can I ask why we don't respond? Can we change that?
Well, you can do it, you need to change standing orders. We sit to receive the comments, it does not enter into dialogue or discussion now.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. External reports. Receive reports on behalf of external bodies as present. Anglo-American. Thank you very much for coming along.
Okay, good evening everyone. So clearly we've had a really difficult 2 or 3 months. I've sent a couple of emails prior at 5 o'clock to keep you updated on the situation, but I thought I'll give some context to how the situation has arrived, how we've got to where we've got to, and then where we're at the moment, and what the next sort of year to 2 years looks like, and then obviously to take questions. So 2023 was a challenging year for Anglo-American. So the cost of production went up due to inflation and other global issues. The commodity prices went down, so the revenue that we could generate from the metals and minerals that we mine went down. So that had an impact on Anglo-American's balance sheet. So in February this year, Anglo-American announced that it was undertaking a strategic review on all of its global assets. So there's around 25 to 30 global assets that Anglo-American owns and runs, and that would shape the future, what the future of Anglo-American would look like. You'd have seen the media coverage that subsequently, since April, Anglo-American received 3 unsolicited takeover bids from BHP, the world's largest mining company, and subsequently rejected 3 bids from BHP. And then on the 14th of May, Anglo-American announced that it had completed the strategic review, which has been accelerated due to the takeover bids by BHP. And essentially, what the strategic review announced was that Anglo-American's future lay in 3 things: so iron ore, copper, and crop nutrients. So crop nutrients being the Woodsmith project, and other elements of Anglo-American, so beers, steelmaking, coal, platinum, nickel, would either be demerged or delisted, so essentially sold or spun off into independent companies. So whilst on one hand that's a positive thing for the Woodsmith project, also as part of that announcement, Anglo-American announced that due to the issues with the balance sheet, that we're not able to continue construction on the pace that we have been. The budget would be significantly reduced for the next 2 years, and as a result the project was slowing down. So between the 14th and the 30th of May, we really focused on what that slowdown would mean for us and how to prioritise and how to direct that reduced budget, which was reduced significantly. So there were a number of key priorities in determining the decisions that we've made. So one, it's about retaining our rights to mine, so our planning permits, planning permissions, so adhering to all our planning permissions and our mineral rights. And thirdly, it's around recognising and respecting our role in the community, and then it's looking at which aspects of construction we can continue that would de-risk the project. Then on the 30th of May, we set out what was going to pause and what was going to carry on. So at a very high level, we're going to carry on sinking the service shafts through the Shirley sandstone. We're going to pause the sinking the production shaft, and we're going to pause lateral development at the bottom of the mineral transport system shaft. We've got a scheduled maintenance stop with the tunnel at the moment, and then we're going to carry on again in 4 to 5 months at a much reduced rate than previously. So what this means, obviously, with a reduced work scope as a result of a reduced budget, that means that there's going to be an impact on the size of the workforce. So there's been various figures that have been bandied about, and I saw the Whitby Strat on Friday. But the figures are as I said in the email that I think was distributed, was it last week? Anglo American, we're currently going through a collective consultation process, so we're looking at going from 350 down to 160 over the next few months, so that people will be leaving at the end of August or the end of December or the beginning, sort of partway through next year, and that's subject to consultation at the moment. And then we are main contractors, so Redpath, our shaft sinking contractor, Strabo, our tunneling contractor, and Worley, our EPCM contractor. So between the 4 of us, we make up more than 3/4 of the workforce. So they're going through their collective consultation processes now or later in the year, and we're estimating that the total project workforce will be around 900 by mid next year. So that's a reduction of around 60%. So obviously that is, that's not good news at all. So, as I also said in the email, in terms of we've been asked about what's going to happen to the apprentices, we've been asked about what's happening to our social programme. So, in terms of the apprentices, we've got 42 apprentices, so we're continuing with our current cohorts of engineering and cybersecurity apprentices, and we're going to carry on with our social programmes that are focused on supporting vulnerable people, so that's our health programme and our education programme, and we're refocusing what we call our livelihoods programme, so that's our programme that's around supporting people to find work or business support, business startup support. We're refocusing that on the people and the businesses in our supply chain that can be impacted by the slowdown. So, yeah, that's. I'm sure people have got questions, so I'll stop there.
Thank you. Questions, Mr. President?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thanks for that, Matt. Do you have a date at which the mine will be in production as yet, or is it too early to say?
It's too early to say. So we were targeting first commercial production for 2027. So yeah, it's too early to say. So we are aiming to be in a position to be able to ramp up again, and the whole slowdown has been designed so that when the conditions allow us, we can ramp up as quickly as possible. So we're expecting to do that in 2026. So when I say ramping up when conditions allow, what I mean by conditions allow is that Anglo American's balance sheet is improved from where it is today, but also we are seeking strategic partner or partners to co-invest in the project. So that was always the plan. So that's nothing new, and that's nothing new with large mining projects. So we're seeking and identifying those partners.
I think everyone has to recognise that fighting off a takeover bid is a very, very expensive business, and it will have had a significant impact on your balance sheet and all of your measures. It will also have had a significant impact on BHP as well, because mounting a takeover bid that fails is also expensive, and I think people should bear that in mind as well. And congratulations to you for fighting it off.
Yeah.
Councillor Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, Matt, I can't say how sorry I am to hear it as all the families and everybody, because the mine has been absolutely fabulous, caring. Good luck with it, maintaining its future, moving on. But as an immediate impact, obviously the workforce is being reduced dramatically. What is in place to help those local?
Yeah.
I know the contractors will have brought workers in, and I'm presuming that they're working with them.
Yeah.
What's the programme in place to help people find alternative employment?
So we've been talking to the North Yorkshire Council, Western Cleveland Council, the Combined Authorities, National Career Service and others. So we're looking at training, the normal stuff that you'd expect. Job search, CV writing, etc., etc. So we're actively seeking work for people as well. So we're ringing around some of the big projects and the big businesses. There is. And then there's training, there's staff support. There's a whole range of support that we're putting in place for people. Obviously, we can't guarantee that everyone is going to find alternative employment, but our contractors think they can redeploy quite a few people, so they've got other projects elsewhere, and some of that's within the region as well. So Strava have got stuff going on up in Hartlepool. So the whole purpose of the programme is for those, obviously those individuals that are going to be impacted, but we want to try and mitigate the impact from the area as much as possible.
Councillor Riddles. The efforts to use products, how is it going to affect the confidence of the people who you're trying to sell these produce to and fertiliser? Won't that sort of step you back a bit? Or are you still working on new markets?
There's partners that we've got that we're working with at the moment in Brazil and America and in North America and in Europe. Obviously, it's a setback in that respect, but we're fully confident that the market for the product exists, and that work to establish the market and to make partnerships that's going to continue.
Just one point with the workforce numbers. Is that the 900? Is that including your claim?
Yeah.
The total number is 900?
Yeah.
The good news about it is that the apprentices are going to see their time out and qualify. That's the good news. And I'm pleased with that. That's basically that's what I'm
Any other questions, councillors?
Just one This is just speculation. Some people are complaining that you can prioritise foreign labour, keep them. I know you probably hear this, and I don't think it's true. I local people or British people, and they paid off bills, and I need a big fail.
That's rumour and speculation, and it's not the case. So the roles that are required to do the work have been identified, but the people that are going to undertake those roles haven't. I mean, as it stands at the moment, we've got 1,400 local people, 70% of the workforce is local. So after the slowdown, that proportion of local is still going to be really, really high.
Thank you.
Any other questions? No. Can I just say thank you very much for coming along. We do appreciate you coming along. Not always easy to come along and do 5 minutes, but thank you for the update. I think we all hope that you know, in a short time you'll be coming back and giving us good news.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. Okay.
I think the town council wishes everyone well to the mind and to our Americans, so we hope there's a bright future.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Chair, just to note that we've had apologies from North Yorkshire Police who are conducting a joint training exercise with the lifeboat crew this evening, and apologies from the two unity councillors. That's been impacted primarily by the pre-election period, and although North Yorkshire Council can carry on business as normal, and we can carry on business as normal, for them to come and promote things that North Yorkshire Council is doing at this meeting might potentially fall foul of the pre-election period rules. So they've offered their apologies, but they've also said if members have any questions and members want to channel those questions through me, they will respond after Thursday in writing.
Thank you. I think it's fair to say that, well, we know the councils will be here next time. I think it'd be useful to ensure that we have the police here next time, because I think some of the good reports that actually community impact zone and things like that, some of the things they send out, I think it would be useful to have them here next time so we can discuss the points that were raised in the letters in the reports of that. Okay, in that case, can I have a proposal to receive the report around the name? Councillor Abbott, second the councillor. All those in favour? Against? Abstentions? Thank you. Minutes. 5A. To approve an accurate record minutes of the following meetings. Annual Council, the 14th of May 2024, which is from page 5. To page 15. Well, I think we need to approve.
And Chair, to note, members will be aware there have been some errors corrected in the version that's in front of you. There were two additional errors with the spelling of the name identified by Councillor Lehman. Those have been corrected to one version that you signed.
Thank you very much. Well, I propose to approve 5AI. Councillor Cochran, seconded Councillor Knott. All those in favour? Against? Abstentions? 5A2 council meeting at the 26th.
I wasn't here.
Okay, so you're abstaining.
Councillor Bolton, just for the record, and I've said this to others before, it's the duty in this meeting to approve the minutes whether or not members were present. I mean, it's a matter of personal choice, but obviously there can be occasions when a council changes altogether, and that council will still have to approve meeting minutes that it has.
Okay. So
there's no presumption against it.
right. Okay. Thank you.
And 5AI council meeting of the 25th of June 2024. Pages 17 and 18. Proposed to accept approve these. Councillor Cochran, seconder. Councillor Turner, all those in favour? Against? Abstentions? 5B. To receive the draft minutes of the following committee meetings. Panic Art Gallery. Finance, Policy and General Purposes. Joint Management Committee. Planning and Licensing. Panic Art Gallery. Town Development and Improvement. Human Resources. Planning and Licensing. Do I have the three councils want to take them on block? Propose to take them on blocks in the second minutes. Or in the second which council not? Okay. So, can we get
Just to vote on.
can we take them on block? All those in favour? Against? Abstentions? Thank you. 6A. SP&DP Committee June 2024. 032/24C, appointment of members to the subcommittee of the FP&DP. Recommend that 1. Councillor Scotland and Aaron Clark as members of the Twinning subcommittee, with other nominations before them
We are.
to be invited, and Councillor Scotland, Dalrymple, Harston, Turner and Wilde as members of the events subcommittee. Do we have in presence any other councillors that would like to be on the Twinning subcommittee? We have 4 vacancies. No, but would the new council like to?
Well, I'm looking at the agenda, I realise there are a number of vacancies on a number of committees, and I do want to play my full role on those committees, but I think I'd rather observe a few meetings before taking a final decision.
Thank you. So, on that basis then, can I have we recommend that, as I've said, do we have a proposer to accept that recommendation? Councillor Brown, seconder. Councillor Turner, all those in favour? Against? Abstentions? B. FP and GP Committee, 8th of June 2024, 03624, Financial Regulations 2024, recommended that the revised financial regulations based on the model document are approved. Any comments, colleagues? Yes, on page 23, submitted, is that now?
It is, and that was circulated for that committee meeting.
Yes.
With the variation of the bank reconciliation to be signed by a member who wasn't the town.
Oh, yes. Okay, so I propose that we recommend the schedule of expense. That we recommend the financial regulations, revised regulations. Proposal to Councillor Abbott, Councillor Cochran, all those in favour? Against? Abstentions? C. FP&GP Committee, 8th of June 03724, approval of expenditure. Recommended that the schedule of expenditure up to the 30th of April 2024 in the sum of £33,501.80 as attached is approved. Any comments?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Councillor.
It's hard to find out what's going on here because the description has been truncated.
Which bit are you referring to?
Well, I'm looking here at 230424 to items, one for £10.70, one for £400, to Whitby Literary Annex. Yeah, what, I'm assuming, and philosophical society, what are they called, please?
Those are contractual payments to the Lit and Bill relating, in the case of £400 to the reimbursement to the Lit and Bill, and the 1070 was a smaller bill for sundry items. Again, off the top of my head, I can't recall. But there were 2 invoices received from the Lit and Bill.
£6,041.35 for North Yorkshire
Council. Yes, that is in relation to the footbridge and also to a small payment in relation to trade waste. They were on the same invoice. So the trade waste is 41 and the 6,000 footbridge contribution.
Thank you.
Any other queries? And I have someone to recommend the approved expenditure. Councillor Cochran, Councillor Turner. All those in favour? Against? Abstentions? D, Town Development and Improvement Committee, 20th of June 2024. 67/246C, appointment of members of the subcommittees of Town Development and Improvement. Recommended that 1, Councillors Brown, Dalrymple, Harson and Ribble be recommended to full council as members of the allotment subcommittee, with other nominations 2 to be invited, and 2, that Councillors Brown, Coughlin, Smith and Wild be recommended to full council as members of the Christmas Lights subcommittee, with other nominations 2 to be invited. So, do we have any other councillors who would like to go on to the allotment subcommittee? Councillor Brown.
Can I just ask, I thought Councillor Harrison...
He is there.
I don't think it's sorry.
Yeah, there's Councillor Harrison as well.
I think he used to be
No, I apologise.
Sorry.
I'm very sorry. Councillors Brown, Dalrymple, Harrison and Biddles. If there any other members would like to go on to the allotment subcommittee? And that would be Christmas Lights subcommittee. We've got 2 on there. Brown, so we've got Councillor Brown, Coughlin, Smith and Wild. Does anyone else like to go on the Christmas Lights subcommittee?
I'll certainly help on the day, closer to the time. Do I have to go to the committee to do that?
No, if you don't want to go to the you want to go to the committee?
No, but I'll certainly help on the day.
Can I put myself there? Can I nominate myself, please? In one of the considerations?
It's fair. I belong as the other member on
Oh, lovely. So we've got a full Christmas Lights subcommittee. Just back a couple more into the allotment. So we did a very interesting walk out, in the rain, you can guarantee the rain. Right then, so on the basis of the additional names, myself and Councillor Turner, can we have a proposal that this recommendation is accepted? Councillor Brown, seconder, Councillor Lane. All those in favour? Against? Abstentions? E. HR Committee, the 25th of June 2024, 79/24, appointment to Clark. Note that the meeting of the Human Resources Improvement Working Group meets at 11 a.m. on Tuesday, the 2nd of July 2024, to go through the Clark job description and specifications on the recommendation to Council on the 2nd of July. Item 9 refers. Obviously, at this point, it would be appropriate for me to mention that obviously we have received a resignation of the town clerk. He will be moving to pasture new, and later on in this agenda item, we will be looking at the timetable for replacement. We will be, I think it would be appropriate that we organise an event to mark the town clerk's contribution to the council, and that will be arranged for a later date.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
can I just add to that as well, that I think that losing the clerk for this council is an extreme loss, and you will be sorely missed. And I, for one, have always found that you've always been very supportive and helpful in anything I've ever needed anything with. And I am deeply sorry to see you leave. Thank you, Mr.
F. Any other matters of recommendation or referral on the minutes noted above at item 5? Anyone have any queries on the minutes that we approved and received at item 5? Seven, casual vacancy co-option timetable. To consider the procedure and timetable for co-option to the casual vacancy in the town ward.
Chair, as set out really in the brief report on page 51, the council has an approved co-option procedure, which it has used before. I would recommend that unless council feels strongly that it ought not, that that's the procedure to use, and the dates could be to advertise the vacancy from tomorrow until the end of the month, and then to call an extraordinary council to consider any applications for adoption to follow the Finance Policy and General Purposes Committee in August.
Yes.
Is that timetable fixed? Would it be able to timetable work so that we appointed the normal September meeting rather than having an extra meeting in August?
That's entirely possible to council.
Why are you thinking, well, rather than slotting every meeting here, there and everywhere, I prefer things to just be nice and tight and they add on to the existing communication cycle. We already have a meeting Tuesday, September, that we can place on that meeting.
Just note that later on the agenda, Chair, recommending the council might want to defer its September meeting for a week, and that's down to Saturday and Tuesday at the beginning of September.
No, given that the extraordinary meeting would be called in August when a lot of people are on holiday, it may make sense that we do defer to the September meeting, and I do note the clerk's comment that we may have to move that meeting by a week. But unless, of course, get such an influx of people, then we may need to revisit. But I would support if Deputy Mayor is making that motion, I would support that.
So we have proposed a seconder that if we amend this so that the outline table would be any vacancies would come to the next scheduled full council meeting in September.
Yeah.
All those in favour? Against? Abstentions? Number 8, committee places. To consider appointments to committee vacancies on the Planning Committee 3, Joint Management Committee 1, and Town Development and Improvement Committee 1. All of these vacancies are important, but the Planning Committee is actually running at an absolute minimum. We have one substitute who comes in. Very grateful for that, but it would be useful if we can have at least one or two more substantive appointments to the vacancies on planning. It is a very important meeting. We are able to give our views to the town, to North Yorkshire. They may not always listen to us. It's probably the source of the most frequent correspondence from the council to North Yorkshire. Do we have any councillors who would be interested in sitting on planning?
Yeah, I would be interested, but as I said before, I'd like to just observe one meeting before taking the time.
Right.
It may help in terms of quorum if Councillor Bolton is happy to be formally appointed to the committee, accepting that he would observe the first meeting but to attend as a full member.
When is the meeting?
In May? Next Tuesday evening.
Next Tuesday. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So we have got a nomination to the planning committee. I understand what you're saying. You should have it on there. Do we have any other nominations from any of the other committees?
I'm sorry?
Do we have any other nominations to Joint Management and Town Development and Improvement Committee?
Yes, I'll go on the town development and improvement. Yes.
Okay. So we have Councillor Bolton on planning, Councillor Lane on the town development and improvement. I propose to accept those nominations. Councillor Turner, second. Councillor Smith, all those in favour? Against? Abstention. Item 9. Appointment of clerk and RFO. To consider the recommendations of the Human Resources Improvement Working Group on the process and timetable for the includes appointment of town clerk and responsible financial officer.
And Chair, there are 2 or 3 copies of the advert around the table. Apologies that the printer has run out of paper and I was printing them off, and I didn't notice the bundle. But if any members haven't seen that, there are some around the table.
Does someone have one, please?
Are there any copies down the side of the job advert?
One right there.
If I will report back from today's HR committee meeting in my capacity as Vice Chair of HR and the committee meeting that we have. What we've gone through is we have looked at the existing job description and advert from the previous appointment, and it has been tweaked to bring it up to date. What we are looking at is to place an advert, this advert, in the way Michael, you can just
Yes, it's the Yorkshire Local Councils Association's website, £20, the National Association of Local Councils website, approximately 500, the Society of Local Council Clerks website, approximately £350, and it serves anti-use Indeed. And I have inquired as to whether or not it's possible to place them on the Yorkshire Council job site. It doesn't appear to be, or at least it doesn't appear easy to be. Can make those requirements. And then also on our own website and through social media.
If Council agrees to this advert, the timetable is to get it into place as quickly as possible, hopefully by this Friday. With the closing, the advert will be placed for 2 weeks, but we will have the closing date for applications will be 3 weeks, which would lead to a closing date of adverts, applications being received on the 29th of July 2024, with interviews taking place in the week commencing the 12th of August 2024. So the HR working group recommends this advert and the job description that was circulated and the further specification. So we can go out to adverts to see if we place the town clerk and our as Arsenal. We are the HR committee will need to identify the interview, the recruitment and selection of interview panel. That has not yet been agreed, but that will be on the agenda for the next HR committee meeting. It's being organised at the moment.
Soon.
Any questions?
Mr. Mayor, if the committee have gone through this, which I'm sure you have this morning very rigorously, then I would support the effort. And the sooner we get it out there, the sooner we will hopefully have the clerk in place.
Thank you. So we have a seconder? Councillor Abbott. All those in favour? Against? Abstentions? Thank you. Agenda item 10. Report from representatives on external bodies. An opportunity for members appointed to represent the Town Council on named bodies to report on activities since the May Council meeting. Do we have any reports, colleagues?
I think you already have a report from
Yes, they seem to be. Right, okay.
Could I ask a question?
Sorry?
Could I ask a question?
Certainly.
I believe some time ago, Councillor Abbott and I forgot the surname, you see, Councillor Heather. Sorry. But you did go and try to see what was happening with the mayor's change at Scarborough Council.
Yes.
It's all right, I haven't lost my head. I've just lost my capacity to speak tonight.
Yes.
But have we had any update? Because it's been such a long time. The chains are in Scarborough Council Town Hall as was.
Are they still there?
I don't know, you were
Yeah.
looking into it yourself, so could you two give me a report where you are with that, please? not go?
The working group had conversations with Scarborough. My recollection was that the town council, because they were changed for the rural district councils, they're not claimable by the town council, but there's an argument that says they could be claimed by the museum, which holds other archival material with the rural district council.
Because they are changed.
Could I just come back at that, Mr. Mayor? Are we pursuing that avenue? Because I think it's extremely important that those changes should be housed in Whitby and not Scarborough. And if we're not pursuing it, could I politely request that we do with all urgency?
Is it possible that as you've already had discussions obviously already in the past, so presumably the ownership is transferred to North Yorkshire, but there's still presumably on displays in Scarborough. So I'm not putting words in my mouth, but I seem to say there's a proposal that we get in touch with your...
Well, I would propose, Mr. Mayor, that this council gets in touch with the North Yorkshire Council as a matter of urgency before things are moved on and the chains are lost, and request that those chains take up home residents in Whitby Museum.
Councillor Knott, second. All those in favour? Against? Abstentions? Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, can I just add that the day that we went and we saw the chains and we were in the cabinet in Norway in the town hall of Scarborough, the man, I can't remember his name that we spoke to, but was very keen, wasn't he, that we got them back. He more or less said there's anything else he wants. He said he had shed loads of stuff to get rid of. I mean, it's not, yes, he did say he got rid of and we did the language that we got.
19 computer tablets will be quite easy. Right, so yes, Councillor Knott.
Thank you, Mr. It might just help members to know that any regalia, the chains and anything else that may be there are in two big cabinets in the long gallery at the old town hall, and it's still intact. It's still in pristine condition, and is there for any members of the public going into the old town hall to see. I just want members to be assured that they're not just stuck in a bag and stuffed in a corner somewhere.
Councillor Brown?
I just thought I'd give you a quick verbal update on the neighbourhood plan meeting.
Are we just going on to that?
Oh, well, shall I let you talk now?
Anything else on external bodies?
Was there any update on the MAPS meeting on Thursday?
Sorry?
MAPS meeting on Thursday. Was there any update from that?
I've withdrawn from MAPS.
I wasn't sure you actually knew, but did anybody go? Oh.
No, I've withdrawn.
I was on holiday.
So that's okay.
Yes, I was too, so
Okay.
unfortunately.
We receive things. Can we receive the external reports about the change proposer? Councillor Abbott, seconder. Councillor Turner, all those in favour? Against? Thank you. I'll say abstention. 11. Report on the Neighbourhood Plan Steering Group. The report with group meeting on the members of the working group may report on activities since the May council meeting.
Unless Councillor Reynolds wants to go ahead. Just to say, we've had regular meetings. The consultant, Andrea, has done an awful lot of work, as has somebody else who's actually drafted a report, which we have now seen. Emma. Yeah, I can't remember her surname, but anyway. Surname is infection. It's a lengthy document, but well worth a read. And the next part of the process is that we will be doing public consultations, which we would encourage as many people as possible, especially residents of Whitby, young, old, and everybody else, to attend and have their say. It's obviously a very important document. It is looking at housing, transport, all sorts of things within Whitby for at least the next 10, if not 20 years. And we are only a very small group that's on it, so obviously the more public consultation, the more comments, the better. So that we can then move forward and hopefully be providing what Whitby residents want us to provide when it comes to the future shape and look of Whitby Town. Any questions?
Any questions, colleagues?
When is it available to report?
I don't know if it's, I think at the moment it's only been available to members of the committee, isn't it?
It is in draft. Documents that have been shared through the Whitby Community Network subset page for the neighbourhood plan. When the group next meets, I think it's probably worth asking whether the group's content at this stage with this level of draft to circulate it more widely with councillors. There's no particular reason why not, other than it's still both the data report and also then the draft policy, the real draft state. It's perhaps worth mentioning as well that with Andrew's support we successfully bid for and received the £10,000 locality funding for this year. We're still waiting on a decision for the in-kind support for the design guide, for the environmental impact assessment and the housing needs assessment. But we're hopeful of receiving support for all three aspects of the plan report, and that will be provided by ACOM, who are the retained consultants who are funded by the locality on behalf of what's until at least Thursday is called the Department for Level and Housing Communities.
And can I just add to that Michael in his usual selfless manner is not really representing the amount of hard work he personally has put into that project. So again, I think we should be acknowledging publicly all Michael's hard work. And the other thing, we have had a plea. We know all the level 1, level 2, level 2 stars buildings in Whitby, but we're also being asked to consider any buildings that are special but not titled in that way. So for instance, the observatory at the school, at Cambridge School, buildings that are part of Whitby's heritage but don't have that is saying anything. We're wanting to record and keep a record of those to make sure that we keep them basically. So if you've got a personal little bit of Whitby that you think is special, please do pass it on to any of the members, Elizabeth, Chris, myself, and we'll get them included. Thank you.
Some years ago, was the turnover had a group and they did every building on Baxtergate.
Right.
And I don't know if they got any further than the end of Baxtergate, but it was an awful lot of work done on them.
Right. And absolutely, if you just let me know who that is and we'll see if we've tapped into
Well,
that.
he's no longer with us,
Right.
It's a Jones contact, but I don't know about, do you know who else was on the committee?
I think it's still White has from that human part.
Right.
But they used to walk around with some councillors and people from really fill off from the Civic Society.
I was going to say, if it's part of the Civic Society, we've had input from them.
Right.
So this is a bit of background.
Well, a lot of the houses on Baxtergate, or the properties on Baxtergate, are grade 2 listed anyway, so they will automatically be included. So what we're looking at the moment are ones that aren't grade 2 or grade 1 listed that can be added to the list.
Yeah, quirky individual buildings.
Yes.
The house on Palace Square, but not there.
Yes.
Thank you, Councillor. Sorry, Councillor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think we've all learned one or two things about the neighbourhood plan tonight that many of us haven't heard about before. May I suggest that we have a monthly report available to all councillors, included in the agenda bundle for every other month, and a separate written report circulated to all councillors on the intervening months, so we're all aware of what's going on and are aware of any information that the steering group may require that individuals may be able to help, or at least point in the right direction. Because at the moment, many of us are in the dark about what's happening. I so move, Mr. Mayor.
And just ask who you think would be writing the reports.
Sorry?
Who would you envisage would be writing the reports?
I nominate Councillor Riddles.
Sorry.
Is this the steering group of Whitby Town Council?
Yes, it's a neighbourhood plan steering group of which Whitby Town Council have got members on it. It is also comprised of non-town council members. It is in fact chaired by... Yes.
So it's not the steering group of the Town Council. I was asking.
It constitutes as a working group under the planning committee.
Right, okay.
And ultimately its outputs will need to be, the final consultation draft will have to be approved by full council, because the full council is responsible for it. But the process is recommended to be carried forward by a multi-representative community group rather than being isolated.
Councillor Brown, does this steering group have minutes or notes of meetings?
Yes.
There are notes that appear on the website, which is housed by the community network, but linked to our own webpage.
Well, taking councillor Knox, would it be possible that could be included within an agenda? When we've got notes of the neighbourhood plan steering group, the notes of the previous meetings are attached to the agenda. Would that suit your purpose, councillor Knox?
For the time being, Mr. Mayor, yes, thank you.
Can we have someone to receive that report, please? Councillor Smith, Councillor Riddles, all those in favour? Against? Abstentions? Moving on, Mayor's report, civic engagements for the delay. I have had 3 civic engagements. The first one was in June, 19th of June. There was an exchange visit to Dutch students who came to the gallery. They wanted to know about English and democracy, how the town council system works. And trust me, I have to say, we had a very pleasant about an hour talking to the Dutch students who were very knowledgeable, explaining as best as I could how parish and town councils work and how they fitted into the system. We had a very interesting discussion trying to explain the different levels of mayors to them, from mayor to Lord Mayors to elected mayors. And I think they grasped the situation better than I did by the end of it. But that was very pleasant. On Monday the 24th, I was present at 11 a.m. for the Armed Forces flag raising. We had 4 representatives from Whitby there. The flag was raised ahead of the Armed Forces Day, which took place on Saturday the 29th. Didn't start out very promising, it was very wet, very miserable, but as the day progressed, the weather improved and it was very, I think it was very well attended. Obviously, I'd like to thank all of the staff who got involved in setting everything up. And I think it's also appropriate, I'd like to say thank you to councillors Knox, Harrison, Turner, Wild and Cotton, who also came along for part of all of the day to help out. I would recommend that councillors are available for Armed Forces Day to come along. You do get the opportunity to talk to members of the public and visitors. Wearing my civic chain, I did get followed up on about 5 or 6 occasions with issues, but it is very useful to be there.
You were invited to be mayor of the Metro Centre.
I was, yes, I was invited. Obviously, they heard how good I was. But the fact that the swing bridge had actually broken down did mean that a lot of the questions were linked to when is the swing bridge going to be fixed. But it was nice that we were there at the time and was able to field a few questions on that one.
Would I be in order to raise an issue over the swing bridge through your report?
Yes, go on.
I just feel that this council needs to get in touch with North Yorkshire Council, because there always was a structure in place that if the bridge broke down, signage would go out very quickly, buses would be engaged because it effectively cut the town in half, and that took a tremendous amount of time to get in place. and it's really not satisfactory. And I think this council should be writing so to North Yorkshire Council that if we have a structure in place to notify the public about these issues, put on a bus or whatever, but there was no signage, there was nothing. There was just one of the local people, I think the pirate boat actually, was ferrying people across the river. I do think that we need to raise the fact that needs to be in place. It's an emergency response. It should kick in quickly. But I thank you for letting me raise that in your report, Mr. Mayor, but I do think it's extremely important.
I think it was slightly unique because I was told that it was an electrical failure. There's been a power cut to the bridge and to certain, the traffic lights were out, and also certain parking meters weren't working. So I think it's a slightly different breakdown, but I agree with everything you say. The plan should be in place to...
Even boards on the street just to notify people at the end.
Would it be suitable, Chair, to raise that with the two unitary councillors as they offered and get a written response from them?
Yes.
If it's possible, as a first step towards...
Yes.
I do know both of them were engaged in the issue and were approached successfully.
Yes, we could do that. Thank you.
Is that proposal, Mr. Mayor? You want that proposal?
Yes, well, I think what proposal on the second, so we actually formally write to the two councils asking for an update on the bridge.
Well, we want them to obviously start the system of what Councillor Turner said.
Yeah. All those in favour? Against? Abstentions? Thank you. Could I just have someone to receive my report? Councillor Cotton, Councillor Abbott, all those in favour? Against? Thank you. Item 13, the clerk's report. Michael.
Thank you, Chair. As set out, most of these are linked to issues that have been part of the weekly updates and calls from the last meeting. The two that I would draw your attention to is firstly my notice period ending on the 22nd of August. As I've previously flagged, this causes a potential problem on the 3rd of September, when Anne is otherwise engaged because of a long-standing commitment, and therefore the proposal will be to defer the September meeting for a week until the 10th of September, and that is a specific recommendation for your consideration. The other items of the report are updates really around the elections, around the pre-election period, which had an impact on tonight's meeting. But I think specifically to draw your attention to item D, which are those items that we were following up from the previous meeting, and the collated responses received, not all of which provide a final position on those issues. There has been some progress with the issue of home-to-school transport and the consultation for that being open for longer, and hopefully that message got out, and hopefully as well any responses on that will find a proper home in that consultation. But also in terms of the specific question raised with the governors of the school and with the executive member for education, you'll see that Councillor Wilkinson declined to come and talk to this council on the basis that she was talking or planning to talk to the two unitary councillors, and that the chair of governors has not replied, although we did receive a holding response from the clerk to the governing body.
Maybe we should send a letter congratulating them on the new name. How well have they done?
It is very disappointing, isn't it, that on numerous occasions we have asked both North Yorkshire and the governing body to engage with the town council, that they have found numerous reasons not to. And I would suspect that if we continue to write letters to them, they will continue to find reasons not to engage with us, which is to say is very disappointing. But I'm not sure what else we can do.
I think we need to reinvite her back in, because what she's put there really does raise my hackles.
So which bit are you referring to?
I'm referring to Councillor Wilkinson.
Right.
So you are seeing, from a school perspective, really huge problems there. You're merging two schools. They're going to have different syllabuses. So I could be doing NXL maths and Avon could be doing AQA maths. You're also going to have a really expensive staff, because you're going to have a head of history there and another head of history there. How do you get rid of one? You can't. They will be protected. There'll be a two-bit thing in place for them. It's going to be a hugely expensive staff, and maybe that's why they are advertising for so many cover supervisors, because they're teachers on the cheap. You're paying them £90 a day, whereas a teacher, say at my stage of the career, I would have been getting £225. So I think it's very, very worrying, and I think we should ask her back in, because I am very concerned about the state of Whitby schools as it is now, or will be.
Councillor Lane.
I would suggest when you invite her back, you invite her to a town meeting, convene a town meeting, or a town assembly, whatever it's called, and invite them to that. Therefore, if they don't turn up, the entire town knows about it. Which is what we need to do.
The only issue is that the town council at the town meeting has no authority or no power to not make any decisions. They'll just be like members of the public. I understand the reason behind it, but I believe if we invite them, they should be coming to a town council meeting where we invite members of the public to come along and they explain the situation. We can question them and then we can make resolutions and take decisions, which we will be able to do as a town centre. Sorry,
if Councillor Moore-Heron put that forward as a motion that we send out the invite check again, I will second that, Mr Mayor. It's an absolute disgrace that they will not come and be held accountable at this town council. We're the people with feet on the ground. We're the ones that hear the extreme anxiety that's out there for both students and parents. The knock-on effect of that is absolutely horrendous. And these people should be accountable. So yeah, I would second that they get asked again.
We obviously have got stuck at this level. There's a level higher, whether we should be a bit more nastier by getting over the main man for North Yorkshire or the main woman for North Yorkshire and send him or her the same particular letter and say, how about some response?
It should to involve, yes, Councillor Carwell is the leader of Norwich Council.
Councillor
the Rutgers have had a community day on Sunday where the neighbourhood families, we had a table there talking to members of the public. David Bradley was there, who presumably you know, he was the headmaster at Exeter for quite a number of years, and he is forming a small group of people to get together who are going to try and pressurise North Yorkshire Council and the education plans to actually look more at what Whitby needs school-wise. So there is action being taken that is going to take on.
Because you've seen when I was there, I was invited along with the other councillors, but she was there, to Northampton, and we went and had coffee with the head of the education department, and he said, how do you fancy having a new school in Whitby? I said, well, don't look at me, I can't make any decisions. And they've been pushing for that ever since. You won't get anywhere with them at all. They simply don't care. They think that they are autonomous. And as you know, at the beginning of this last time, we ended up going to their meeting, councils went and schools went their meeting. We certainly would not put it at all for us in the building.
We have proposed and seconded that we rewrite to them, copying it into the senior. All those in favour? Against? Abstentions? Is there anything else on the report?
It's just a return to the date of the September meeting and the recommendation.
Mr Mayor, just to add fuel to the fire that was raised by Ian earlier, in March of 2023, I spoke to Paul Thompson, who is the Assistant Director, who is Director of Scarborough and as Assistant Director of North Yorkshire Council, about the growth of vegetation in the verges all around the town. He assured me at the time that a start would be made at the bus station in town and clear that area up, which was of significant concern to everyone at the time, and then work concentrically around the town until it was all done. As Ian will attest, nothing has been done in very large areas of the town. We have thousands of yards of gutter with plants growing in them. Some of them are varieties of cultivated plants.
John?
I move that we write to Paul Thompson and ask him when he intends to clean the town up.
Can I just add that it may not be the most important place in the world, but I did see them cleaning all the verges of all the grass for some strange reason, the junction of St Andrews and Mayfield. So they have done some places, but not necessarily where you would choose for them to do it. Because other places, they're so high you can't see through.
Two things. Having been at your hospital today, having seen the verges and so on, all the way from York to here, Whitby's fabulous in comparison. They're just not putting the hedges back, they're not doing anything. It's right. The other thing is that we've seen several complaints from chalet owners about the bus dropping them off there on the promenade, and that some of them can't physically walk from there to their chalets. I know one lady who has paid nearly £800 for a chalet in Western Street before and has never been able to get there because she can't walk from where the bus drops them to her chalet. So little bus stop on the place.
I would suggest, Councillor Cotton, that we include that in the correspondence to North Yorkshire Council to ask them to be able to report back. However, we have got a proposal from the council about writing about the vegetation. Do we have a second? Councillor, all those in favour? Thank you. And also that the proposal that the council meeting is moved to the 10th. Proposal that Councillor Seconder. Councillor Riddle, all those in favour? Against? Abstentions? Any other queries to my point? Councillor Nott?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. At the last but one meeting, I think, we asked Councillor Trumper what the future of the cliff lift was going to be, and outlined to him were rumours that I had received from North Yorkshire Council officers. And we also asked what the future of the shuttle bus was going to be, because the rumour had it that it would cease after this year. He did say that he would get a response to us, so the clerk would circulate it to all members. He did subsequently say that the matter was embargoed. I don't think he knows what the word embargo means, so which is I know you'll learn, it's a ban on trade between one country and another. So could we write please to North Yorkshire County Council and ask for clarification? That is a matter of significant importance to residents here.
So we include that in the correspondence. Any other issue on the clerk's report? If not, can I have someone to receive the clerk's report? Councillor Nott, Councillor Lehman, all those in favour? Against? Abstentions? Thank you. And the last agenda item, flooding awareness. Size of the 5.5 metres up until the 10th of September 2024. We have the 23rd to the 26th of July and the 20th to the 25th of August. That's someone to see there. Councillor Abbott, Councillor Turner, all those in favour? Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I declare the council meeting closed.